Hi, thanks for purchasing this video lesson plan. The resources available to you are this video, which documents how I approach this topic in class, and our website, www.mondokio.com, which allows your students to consider how major news sources all over the world cover this same topic differently. You'll find this topic in the lower left-hand section of mondokio.com.
Malala Yousafzai, a 14-year-old girl from Pakistan, was shot twice on her way home from school by the Taliban, a militant movement that is widely classified as a terrorist group. Ms. Yousafzai has been standing up for education and women's rights since she was 11. She even wrote for the BBC about her life under the Taliban regime and their attempts to take over Pakistan. After the attack, a Taliban spokesperson claimed, quote, "This, her outspokenness, was a new chapter of obscenity, and we have to finish this chapter." So in other words, should she return to school, she will remain a target. So here's how we're going to begin to discuss this particular topic. The willingness to take the life of someone who has convictions that differ from your own is to abandon faith in the communication process. This act is particularly despicable given the target was a 14-year-old child. But we can't let this cloud our ability to first understand the attacker's perspective. It's only when the motivation behind this act is properly understood that it can be universally condemned. So, what were the Taliban's motivations? What do you believe is the strongest argument for condemnation? One that could create a worldwide consensus leading to unified action against the Taliban. So, how do we do this on Mondokio? Today we're going to be working all individually at our own terminals, okay? So if you remember on the smartboard up in the classroom, we had the topic up and then we had the map up. To get to that map, you click on either the text on the topic that we're looking at, or you can click on the image of this topic, which is right up here, okay? So once you do that, a map will appear. On that map will be dots on it. Each one of those dots represents a unique perspective from that particular part of the world. It comes from a major news source. So we want you guys to consider each one of those perspectives. The majority of them are dealing with their condemnation of this particular act. And then we want you to develop what you believe is the most strongest argument for condemnation, using evidence to support your beliefs. Where's this evidence coming from? It's from those dots on the map that are coming from the major news sources all over the world. I want you guys to take about 10 minutes to consider all of these perspectives on this particular topic. Then we're going to go around the room, and each one of you are going to get a chance to say what you think is the strongest argument for condemnation of this. Moving forward, let's see if we can support our beliefs with evidence. Where do you get the evidence from? Well, that comes from Mondokio's site. So what do you guys think about this? Anybody? Yeah, Maya?
I believe that Taliban attacked her because they were afraid that it would be like a domino effect. And if she fought for women's rights, more people would step up and multiply and start fighting for women's rights too. And if women get rights, that it will kind of like block them and stop them from getting control. And I got that information from Israel. Why did the Taliban fear teenage girls?
Great, great. So Maya supported her argument with evidence. So very good, Maya. Anybody else? Let's just talk about, yeah, tell me your name again, sorry. Star, that's right, Star, yeah.
I thought it was wrong because according to the, I think it's SINA or SINA of Beijing, the Taliban.
So where's Beijing? Sorry.
China.
Right.
The Taliban said that they shot her because of her actions to fight for the rights of education for women, and that was basically a right of equality that she wanted, and her rights of equality should have been present in the first place.
So there were two things actually there that I heard. So women's rights, or girls' rights in this case, and then equality of, right, quality of education. Okay. So very good. Thanks, Star. Use in your argument to unify all these countries. Unify, let's say, China, Brazil, Pakistan, India, America behind this unified action, which one of these do you think would be the strongest? What about freedom of speech? If you were in a country like China or Pakistan, where they might not have the same sort of culture, they might not have the same sort of convictions that we have in the West, would this be a reason for them to get behind that unified action against the Taliban, freedom of speech? What about freedom of education? What about women's rights? Now, what about this one that Eric identified? Do you think that most cultures have an interest in preserving the lives of their children? Do most cultures value the lives of children? I think for the most part, that's the strongest one. How many people agree with that?